You're watching Ride the Teacups, and today we're going to show you how to pack 2 weeks worth of clothes in your carry-on luggage. What? Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Let's start with some real talk, specifically for you parents. The first time we took our big family trip with 4 of us, myself, my wife Casey, and our 2 boys, 3 years old and 3 months old, for a very long trip, we took, I'm not even kidding you, 17 pieces of luggage. 17 bags, guys. 17. Ugh. Never again. There are some super easy packing tips that we've learned along the way that you can use to help your trip be a lot better than our first big one. So we're going to tell you everything we know about packing your suitcase for clothes in this video. It's going to help you out on any trip, not just a Disneyland trip, so stay tuned, you're going to really enjoy it. And make sure you stick around, because after we're done showing you these different tips and tricks in action, we're actually going to show you exactly how much space we saved on our trip, and it will blow your mind. You need to see just how much space you've been wasting when you've been packing the old way. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there right below this video, big red button, and the little bell icon. That's going to let you know when we upload our new videos so that you can get the most out of your family trips, especially when you go to places like Disneyland. Really maximize that magic and have a lot of fun along the way. And if you like what we're doing and want to support the channel, consider becoming a Patreon subscriber. You can go to patreon.com/ridetheteacups. A couple very simple support levels to choose from. You get some cool swag out of the deal, and you get to really help us out make these videos for you and your family. Thank you so much for even thinking about doing that. We really appreciate it. And finally, make sure you're watching for when the Mad Hatter tells you to like this video. We'll all do it at the same time and blow up that YouTube algorithm all at once. So let's get right into it. Now, the technique we're going to use to fold up our clothes is a rolling technique. But I'm not just going to roll up my shirts and things. I'm actually going to roll up entire outfits together. There's a couple of different things we can do with this, and we'll get into why in just a little bit. But I want to show you some of the space-saving techniques that it can have. I'm going to lay out my shirt, and then I'm going to start by simply rolling up the very bottom part and give it generally about 2 inches. 1.5 inches to 2 inches should be good. I think I've actually overdone it a little bit on this one, but as you'll see, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to fold over the left side of the shirt and then the right side of the shirt. I'm very specifically not folding it in half, and you'll see why a little bit later. And I'm going to throw my huge pair of jeans on here, fold them up sideways and get them down near the bottom, give myself about 1 inch of clearance, and fold up the jeans just in half. If they didn't quite fit, I might do it in thirds as far as the length. And then, of course, you want everything else that you're going to wear for the day packed in on this at the same time. Just make sure they all fit on top of those jeans. You're going to press everything down firmly, as tightly as you can, and then start at the neckline and start rolling everything as tightly as you possibly can. You'll see I'm pushing down very hard. I'm making sure to make this bundle very, very tight. That's very important for your savings. And when you get to the end, keep going, don't stop. And as you can keep going, you'll get to that folded over part, fold it back, and you'll actually see it come around the sides pretty naturally. And what that does is holds it all in place. And I'm going to do it again, and this time I'm going to use some shorts for the same thing with my Mickey shirt. You'll see I'm going to fold it over at the sleeve line, just like before. But this time, I'm going to forget to roll up the very bottom edge. What happens if you forget to roll the bottom edge? Do I have to start over? No, well, we'll see. So I've got my shorts. Again, I'm going to fold them in half right along the center of the shorts. That's actually pretty important. If you try to fold it the other direction so that the crotch is right in front instead of off to the side, the width can actually be a little bit off. So I always want to fold it right there in the middle. And after you've folded your shirt, I can always try to fold up about 1.5 inches, 2 inches after that. And in this case, I put them up and above the lines of the short leg. You don't have to do that, but you can. Of course, everything else that it is that you're going to wear for the day is going to come next. just right up on top, folded the same way we had before. We just want to make sure it's fitting inside that line. You don't want them going outside of the edges. And then just like before, I'm going to straighten on my collar, push down as tightly as I can, and roll everything up into a very tight bundle, as tight and as small as I can possibly get it. And again, once I reach the end, I'm going to keep going, and you'll see the bottom edge of the shirt that I left there, that I folded over, naturally comes over the edges and just helps keep everything nicely in place. And of course you can see the two side by side, my shorts on top, long pants, jeans on the bottom, and these are so much more space efficient than anything else you could possibly do. And I want to show you some of the do's and don'ts for rolling, because you may have seen it or tried it, but there are some very specific ways to really maximize your clothes and eliminate some very common wrinkles. So watch this. We're going to fold it over in half, and you can see our crease is right there in the middle. We don't want to do that. So what you're going to see is that if you do that, your fold will be right in the middle of your shirt. Nobody wants a crease line there. So instead, what we're going to do is fold it about where the sleeve goes. And if we fold it there, you can see our crease lines are going to be right under your sleeve and just a little bit under your armpit. That should be totally fine, having a line right there on the edge of Mickey. It'll be much more faint, much less visible, better for photos. So we're going to fold it up on the edges instead of right in the center. And then just make sure that your sleeves and everything don't get in the way. Start off at the top and roll as tightly as you can. I'm pushing down as hard as I can against my shirt to make sure it can be as small and snug as possible. Take your time, go slow, and you will have a nicely rolled shirt without a huge crease fold line right in the middle. When we get to the end, you also always want to make sure to fold the bottom of your shirt inside out a little bit. You'll actually want a little bit more that I've given here. And then when you finish rolling, just keep going with your thumbs all the way through, and you'll find the shirt actually wraps along the outside. It keeps everything nicely in place. Now, if you're really conscious of space and want to really maximize as best as you can actually do this in half. This does mean you're going to have a crease line right in the middle, but we're going to do what we can to try to eliminate that. We'll start like before, when we have just everything folded up there on the edges under the armpit for the main fold. But then, what we're going to do once we actually have everything in place is I'm actually going to fold the entire shirt in half. And then just like before, I'm going to roll everything up, keeping it as tight as I possibly can. I'm pushing down, I'm rolling very slowly, making sure that I don't go over everything and that the shirt doesn't bend. Take your time with this, and you can see the shirt is not a whole lot thicker, it doesn't seem, but it does take up half the space, which is really amazing. If you do it this way, folding it over like we did before, it doesn't really work, so I use just like a hair tie, a rubber band, any type of thing that you can, just over to keep your shirt nicely in place. And you can see just how little room that shirt is taking up in your suitcase now. So I've rolled up lots of sets of clothes. I'm ready for my Disneyland trip. Let's throw everything inside of my bag. This is small enough to be a carry-on bag in an airline. So you want to take it with you? I can throw everything in there that I possibly can. Long pants, outfits, shorts outfits. I'm going to push and make a little bit of room. Plus, I made an extra one just for my PJs there. So I have 5 full sets of clothes plus PJs. This could very easily be 6 outfits fitting snugly in my bag. 4, 5, 6. Amazing. And then in addition to that, I can push down everything as hard as I can. And I want to show you just how much space I've saved. So when I get to the top of the bag, I still have about 1.5 inches of space left to pack. And that's before I actually get above the lid. And I have space in the side to put extra things as well. So
There is so much room in this bag that has 6 sets of full outfits in it already. Close it up, pack it down, lots of room, I'm good to go.
Alright Teapots, you've been watching us pack our bags for Disneyland, but I have a confession. We have not actually been packing for a Disneyland vacation. We can't always afford to go, that's not in the cards for right now, but what we have been packing for is a family trip up to a cabin up in the forest. So we're going to stay there for a while. We're actually going to be there for about 2 weeks, which gives us a great excuse to cram as many outfits as we possibly can in there. So just watch us go. You won't believe how much we're going to fit in this carry-on bag.
So here I am at my destination, and I have a lot of clothes to unpack. There's 1, 2. As you'll see, some of these didn't actually roll up quite as well as other ones. I didn't give myself enough room on the bottom of the shirt, and you can see those in the ones that don't roll up, but I can keep them tightly packed enough to keep them in. And 12 outfits in a suitcase that fits in your carry-on luggage. Unbelievable. Let's take all that out. I want to try something. What would happen if I actually put all of these back in the suitcase, but I packed it the normal way I used to pack, without rolling? How much space do you actually save? Let's let the fast forward monster take over and we'll see. Alright, and I've got all of my shirts and shorts and pants and everything inside of here, and just with those, I'm actually roughly about 5 inches over where it is that the top of my bag is. That's not going to work, but I should pack a couple other things too. And now you can see I'm actually, well, I have no idea how over I am, because my hand's not that big. Plus, I can't even close the bag anymore, and that's before I get my toiletries and other accessories packed.
Alright Teapots, I've got one last trick for you, and it's this. It's about all those wrinkles we keep talking about. Bring a bottle of Downy Wrinkle Releaser or the generic with you. You can find this, I'll put a description on the link below. It's our affiliate link, so we get a couple pennies if you happen to purchase it that way. Otherwise, you can find it at your grocery store, anywhere else that you go. Really simple stuff, get it for like $1 or $2. You can get a travel size if you are flying. You can get a big one if you really feel like it, if you're driving or if you live near the area. So this is really simple. At just about every hotel you go to, they're going to have hangers in that closet for you, and you are going to make some use out of them. Maybe for the first time, this is awesome. Take out your shirts, put them out on the hangers, and then once you get them, sprinkle the wrinkle releaser pretty liberally all over where those lines were, wherever your crease lines actually are, and then hang this up in the bathroom. Don't hang it up in the closet, hang it up in the bathroom. The reason is, whenever anyone in your family is taking a bath or a shower, it's going to get hot, and generally that room gets a little steamy. That steam, combined with the wrinkle releaser on your wrinkles, is actually going to magically take the wrinkles out, and you will have clothes with no wrinkles in them whatsoever. Totally good, no fold lines, everything's great. You haven't had to iron, you haven't had to go use their dryer or anything like that. All from this little bitty bottle of magic. You will appreciate it when you see those photos. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. It really means a lot to us. We hope that you have gotten some tips and tricks out of this that you didn't know before or didn't know just how important it was. Did we miss anything? If we missed a packing tip that you know of, let us know in the comments down below what it is that you would do. We have more packing videos to make for you. This one was just for the clothes. We still have toiletries and accessories and toys and games and everything else that's there. So let us know so we can make sure to include that in the next videos we make for your family trips. If you haven't done it already, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us deliver all of these valuable videos right into your inbox so that you can see everything you need to make your family vacation memorable and successful without the headache. And if you want to support us as we make more videos just like these, again, go to patreon.com/ridetheteacup. Link is in the description down below. And support our channel, and you get some cool swag out of the deal too, and we get to keep making these cool videos just for you. Thanks again. We really appreciate you watching. We can't wait to see you next time we go ride the teacups.